How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was September 27th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Fuego del Sol versus Jay Malachi. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Fuego del Sol went over with the Muda Lock. Match 2, it was Layla Gray versus Tiara James. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Layla Gray went over with the sit-out facebuster. That was match 2, by the way. Match 3, it was Jeeves K versus Gus De La Vega. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Jeeves K went over with the Michinoku driver. Match 4, it was Jora Joel versus Blake Lee. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Jora Joel went over with the pump kick. Match 5, it was Anna Jay versus Kelly Madden. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Anna Jay went over with the Queen Slayer. Now, after the match, as Anna Jay and Angelo Parker were in the ring celebrating Anna Jay's victory, Anna Jay executed the Queen Slayer to Kelly Madden again and choked her out, and then Angelo Parker and Anna Jay continued to celebrate and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. And that was match 5, by the way. Match 6, it was Ryan Nemeth versus Arjun Singh. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ryan Nemeth went over with the Hunk of Love. Now, before the match, Ryan Nemeth attacked Arjun Singh before the match started and beat the shit out of him and everything. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way, and that was match 6, by the way. Match 7, it was Leon Ruffin versus Bishop King. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Leon Ruffin went over with the crucifix bomb. Match 8, it was Angelico versus Caleb Conley. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Angelico went over with the Argentine backbreaker. Match 9, it was the Renegade Twins, which are Robin and Charlotte Renegade versus Milo and Mila Moore. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, the Renegade Twins went over cause Charlotte Renegade pinned Milo with a neckbreaker spinebuster combination from Robin and Charlotte Renegade. Now, before the match started, Now, before the match, the Renegade Twins, which are Charlotte and Robin Renegade, attacked Milo and Mila Moore before the match started and beat the shit out of them and everything. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way, and that was match 9, by the way. Match 10, it was Nick Comoroto versus Shaheem Ali. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Nick Comoroto went over with the Alabama Slam, and that was match 10, by the way. And match 11, it was, and match 11 which was the main event. It was Dante Martin versus Anthony Henry. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dante Martin went over with the nosedive. Now, after the match, as Dante Martin was laying out, J.D. Drake came out, and so the workhorsemen, which are J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry, attacked Dante Martin and was beating the shit out of him and everything. And as the workhorsemen, which are J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry, were beating the shit out of Dante Martin, Matt Sydal came out with a steel chair, and the workhorsemen, which are J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry, retreated, and Matt Sydal and Dante Martin stood tall. So after that happened, Tony Schiavone interviewed Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. And Tony Schiavone brought up about the workhorsemen coming in and attacking Dante Martin and Matt Sydal coming to the rescue and everything. And then Dante Martin was talking about how him and Matt Sydal want to fight the workhorsemen and everything. And then Matt Sydal was talking about wanting to fight the workhorsemen next week in a tag team match, and talked about not going anywhere until they get their match and everything. And then Tony Schiavone was talking about how, and then Tony Schiavone was talking about how that was a great idea for that to happen, but first they have to get approval from Tony Khan and everything, and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match, by the way, and that was match 11 and the main event, by the way. Now, besides the matches, referee Aubrey Edwards cut a promo talking about her struggles with mental health and talking about her struggles with bipolar disorder and how she takes several medications for it, and talked about how she had a rough childhood and rough life with her mental health and bipolar disorder, and talked about how she's doing a little bit better because she takes several medications and everything, and talked about how her dad was bipolar, and talked about how her dad committed suicide when she was 12 years old and everything because he wasn't medicated for his bipolar disorder and everything, and talked about how she's done so much cool shit in her life and how she wished her dad would have been here to see it and everything. And then referee Aubrey Edwards was talking about how there's no shame in asking for help, and talked about how everyone should ask for help if they're struggling with mental health and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Paul Turner, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Fuego del Sol versus Jay Malachi. Paul Turner refereed the match between Layla Gray versus Tiara James. Mike Posey refereed the match between Jeeves K versus Gus Della Vega. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Jorah Joel versus Blake Lee. Mike Posey refereed the match between Anna Jay versus Kelly Madden. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Ryan Nemeth versus Arjun Singh. Mike Posey refereed the match between Leon Ruffin versus Bishop King. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Angelico versus Caleb Conley. Paul Turner refereed the match between the Renegade Twins versus Milo and Mila Moore. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Nick Camarado versus Shaheem Ali. And Paul Turner refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Anthony Henry. All the referees done awesome as usual. And now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight that's been announced so far. It's going to be Chris Jericho versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor World title, and Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson in an AEW title eliminator match. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. Now, besides the matches, the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Anna Jay, and Ty Mello will be having a championship celebration. MJF will be appearing live, and Saraya will be appearing live. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite for tonight looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was September 27th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.